You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
I guess A&D realized that they done ducked up when they tried to give Phil Robertson the shoo-shoo treatment. I'm just imagining Phil Robertson saying to the execs there, it's unfortunate, yet kind of funny, that you're under the impression that I need you. And on top of that, you think that I'd answer to you before God. That would be like you giving a smile to a few people over here while flipping off a whole bunch of people over here. Oh wait, that's exactly what you did.
I think what's happening. Propaganda.
Right off the bat, as soon as the hissy fit surfaced over Phil's comment on homosexuality, somehow the black community got dragged into this, as if being black and being gay have something to do with each other, and are automatically joined. But hey, what better way for the gay agenda to get support than to drag the black community into it? And most of the black community doesn't even agree with same-sex marriage, yet the black community is used to gain sympathy votes for their agenda. Kind of like how most of the black community doesn't agree with amnesty. Jobs are hard enough to get for folks who are born here, yet the black community is being used to get support to grow the Democrats' Spanish-speaking voter stock. So to get self-righteous pity support for the gay community, the left tries to make Phil look like an even bigger ogre by jumping on Phil, saying something to the effect of blacks being happier under Jim Crow laws. First up, Democrats. Don't even trip, because Democrats are the ones who impose Jim Crow laws. Now, I'll say this. I can tell you right now, I would not be happy under Jim Crow. But when we consider the discontent of the black community that shows ultimately in having the highest violent crime rate against itself today, the highest abortion rate, high rate of single mothers, highest rate of unemployment today, then yeah, I reckon blacks were happier back then. That doesn't mean that Jim Crow is a good idea. What it means is Democrats are just full of bad ideas. Jim Crow was a bad idea. And then Democrats came up with an even worse idea for the black community: entitlements. This destroyed the nuclear family. But hey, it's always been the plan of the Democrats to have control over the black community. And haven't Democrats done wonders for the black community? But racism is stupid. For example, George Bush sent far more aid to Africa than Obama ever thinks about sending. Bush sent billions to help Africa. Obama won't even send his brother a bus pass. Yet Bush gets booed at Mandela's memorial while Obama gets applause? Racism is stupid. Or here's another example of how stupid racism is. Melissa Harry Scary says she's sorry, which means nothing. She's unrepentant. Her ideas have not changed. She's still a racist. She's still a socialist. And she's still employed. And she wants to keep it that way. CNN had been calling her out for her panel, which is no surprise, because when it comes to liberals, they will either circle the wagons or throw each other under the wagons. Now I'm going to use MHP to illustrate how stupid racism makes people. Liberals like to promote themselves as colorblind, yet super liberal MHP zero right in on the African American baby sitting on Mitt Romney's lap. I guess MHP got corrective surgery for that colorblindness. And notice the elitism of MHP. She feels obligated to point out that the child is African American, as if you're too stupid to figure that out for yourself. It's weird, man. Liberals go on and on and on and on about equality. Yet instead of seeing a family in this picture, they saw something unequal. Because they're twisted and evil. They do not want the race issue to be resolved. They thrive on divisiveness. The Democrat Party hated the Republican Party because Republicans welcomed blacks. They harassed and accosted Republicans. And the Democrats will try to swear up and down that they've changed. No, they haven't. They're still the same and still have a problem with seeing people of color with or as Republicans. Democrats hated it then, and they hate it now. They accuse Republicans of not having enough people of color in the party and harass them for it. Yet the second they see a person of color in the Republican Party, they harass them for it. They thrive on divisiveness and hate, and always have since their party was founded. They have a sick fetish for making people hate each other, but want to be loved themselves. And what's their strategy to be loved? by getting you to hate others so there's only them left to be loved. Liberals try to accuse Phil Robertson and his family of being racist, while one of the hateful liberal hypocrites on MHP's panel even sang the old Sesame Street song, "One of these things is not like the other, one of these things just isn't the same." That's a bigot. Meanwhile, mean old Christian conservatives like Phil Robertson has embraced his adopted son, who's biracial, which goes even further to show how unbigoted Phil Robertson and his family is. Because if they were really that bigoted, not only would they not have adopted a black child, they most certainly wouldn't have adopted a biracial child, because that would be adopting an abomination. But liberals have to keep the hate going. They thrive on it, just like the other guy on MHP's panel that says this picture looks like the RNC, and obviously he wants to keep it that way. He wants to discourage the idea that people of color populate the Republican Party too. But again, I gotta ask, while he swipes at the Republican Party for lacking enough people of color to suit his standard, I gotta ask, will he be happy and satisfied when more people of color do become Republicans? Anyway, I ain't worried about the Robertsons. They got a healthy love for God, and people dig the Robertsons. They could have even named their wine Yuck Commander instead of Duck Commander. And their fans would have been like, Robertsons, this is delicious. Did y'all just put water in a bottle and have Jesus turn it into wine for you? I'm Alfonso Rachel with Zone Nation, and again, I'm not moved by MHP's teary-eyed moment of saying she's sorry. She's unrepentant. Her ideas of race have not changed. She still has a statist worldview, and liberals are dependent on racism to make it happen. Obama won't even send his brother a bus pass.
All Americans know politicians lie. The question is, which lies can you live with? And time again, Americans have said we can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us.